Alright, this one's going to be on Volkswagen clutches, because somebody wanted to know what's the difference, you know, this, that, and another thing. So I'll go over a couple different ones that I have laying around, different types. This is your standard stock Volkswagen clutch here. It's got a spring, and it's got a hub, and the hub's riveted to the disc, you know, and the hub's got these springs that take shock up when you let the clutch pedal out. This is a small rivet type. This is the bigger rivet type. Same type theory, you know, got the hub mounted in, sandwiched in these layers of metal, and they use these springs for initial, when you let the clutch out, to lessen the load a little bit. Now this clutch here is the one that I prefer, or disc I should say, for a mild motor. You can see there's no springs in it. The hub's mounted right to the clutch disc. It's got big rivets. The problem with these is it's a good theory, but with any kind of power, this is what happens. The hub starts coming loose. And you know, I've got some in different stages. This one's, you know, considerably loose. That's going to cause some chatter, and you've lost the whole concept behind it taking up the shock. You know, now it has more and more play as it gets worn. This one here is really bad, but they all tend to do it. You know, if you put any kind of power to it or drive hard, those really aren't a good choice. Try to get the solid diaphragm disc. Now on the clutch disc, or the clutch itself, we got a couple different types here. First we'll talk about this side of the clutch. This is a Kennedy style 1700 pound. It's made out of an old F&S plate. They have a removable collar, so you can either use it with an early or a late release bearing. This is a middle of the road. I think this is a Sachs, and this is for a late model. It's got the fingers for a late model transmission with the cone type release bearing. Here's the late model Sachs with the collar on it for the early model release bearing. And then we go to the transmissions here, and these are the two different type trannies that we're talking early and late. This would be a late model, and it's the cone type. You can see the release bearing. This is dirty, guys. It's just for demonstration. But you can see how the release bearing rides on this cone in here, and the main shaft comes, or the output shaft comes through the cone. This is the late model setup. On the early model setup, you got the release bearing that rides in the fork there. Excuse me, kitty cat. It's held on by some clips, and your main shaft or your output shaft floats in between the bearing. This can fall off, and this is a much better setup. A lot of the guys will upgrade to this. That's why a lot of guys like the Rhino case. The case has to be tapped for it there. You can see the threads. And you can see this case has no provision for the cone. So with the Rhino, you can go either way. You can put an early or a late shaft in that. Really? And now for the other sides of the disc, or the clutch, you can see the thickness of the shoe, the face, whatever you want to call it. This is a Sachs. This is a Sachs. And this is the Kennedy. You can see how much thicker it is, you know. It's just built more for racing. Now the different Kennedys have different diaphragms. Some of them have solid. This one's cut. This one has a completely different stock diaphragm. This controls the pedal pressure and how much clamping load the clutch plate can apply to the disc. This would be the other type of disc. This is a 3-puck. This is a Kevlar disc. This one's made to slip. This one's slipped all it can. It's worn out just for demonstration again. And then the other disc would be a ceramic disc, either a 4-puck or a 3-puck, just like so. We run a 3-puck in my race car. Actually has a metal pad call it ceramic. So that pretty much covers the pressure plates and the clutch disc and the release bearing. You know, this is the spring type that I was talking about. This is a solid type that I prefer. You know, and it shouldn't be hard to get. You know, you just don't want the spring-loaded hub when you order the clutch kit. And I like to order the kits. You can get a Sachs kit, but you know, you're best if you just get a stage 1 Kennedy, then you don't have to do any guesswork. It'll come with everything you need, the right release bearing, the right disc, and the right pressure plate. So there's a few clutches, a few clutch discs, and hopefully that helps you out a little bit and you understand a little bit different, or the different types of hubs and disc. This wouldn't be a good selection for the street. You know, you want to definitely get this type of disc. They make one called a Cush Lock. It's spring loaded, which I don't like those. You know, just get the solid one. Anything with a spring loaded hub's gonna wear, and the hub's gonna come loose eventually. So there's a tight one. That's how they are when they're new, and that's what they do after, you know, not many miles. You can tell these don't have, this one's got more wear than any of them, but still not worn down to the wear bar. So there we go. Go with that type, and I'll just get a Kennedy stage 1 and you'll be good. Ugh. Alrighty. Little Hansi over here. He's happy, happy, happy. You happy, happy, happy?
You recording a TV show?
Huh?
So you recording a TV show, or you just saying?
I just said that. Why? Is there a TV show?
Yeah, guy says it all.
Alright, whatever. So there we go. We'll talk to you guys a little later. And yeah. Oh yeah, look what I got over here. We got the big block out. Ready to get out and wash it up, and some bolts bolted in the stand there. Hans just dragging his ass on the crate. Come on, man.
I'm waiting.
Huh?
I'm waiting. I started using the drill and you looked back at me for it.
You're waiting?
Yeah, for you.
What do you need from me?
To stop recording, because when I did that earlier, you were like,
Any hoozle. Back to it. We'll talk to you guys later. I should cover the clutch disc. Man, we got a lot of stuff to do. So. Alright, Hans. You're plumbing over there.